Jeff Rowe from Two Hacks Garage. Well, we all know this as Kyle's Hack Shack, and we all know that this is the 1968 Big Green machine. Things have been a whirlwind the last few months. I did put a post out that Kyle, he had passed away. On August 2nd, Kyle passed away, and things have changed a lot. 4 years ago, Kyle and I created Two Hacks Garage, and it was kind of a joke name that he actually came up with because we were just a couple hacks. A little bit of a story behind that. Kyle, Kenny, and I. Kenny has been just as much as the channel. Should have been the Three Hacks Garage, but it was called Two Hacks Garage. But yes, Kenny's been just as much as the channel as everybody else, and it's been an absolute blast being able to do this. The reason I am making this video is because, well, this car here meant a lot to Kyle, and it meant a lot to his family. This was his uncle's car. I don't know how long his uncle had it, but he had it for a while, and his uncle passed away, and he had left it to Kyle. When Kyle got it, it had a 455 in it. This is before YouTube when we were on it, and he decided he wanted to add some horsepower. So what did we do? Like natural, guys with a big foot and want to go fast? Well, we decided to build a new engine. Let's go back a few years. Kyle and I met in 1987. Little guys, 7, 8 years old, and I was a new kid to a neighborhood out in the country. He was a wild little guy, and we hit it off very well, along with a bunch of other people that were in that neighborhood. But Kyle and I had a real strong bond, and went to school together, worked together, lived together for a while. And same with Kenny, met him about that same age. Kenny's known him longer than I have, and just a real strong bond. And seeing this as something that his family really knows he loved a lot, the decision was made, you know what, guys, we need to get this car back on the road. As you know, I like working on stuff. Kyle and I always have since kids. We were always, as we referred to as hacks, because we always didn't have a lot of money, not all the right tools. We would just get the job done, even though that meant hacking something up. Get it? Two Hacks Garage. So with that, guys, we're going to get Kyle's car back on the road. Now, kind of behind the scenes, last year we went drag racing, and after that, Kyle hurt his engine a little bit. We decided to pull it, which we did. Found out there were some bearings that were toast, and we refreshened that motor up behind the scenes. Some of it's on video, and that motor has actually been bought. We sold it to one of Kyle's friends who's got a Firebird, and that Firebird was actually one of his friends that passed away. So kind of a neat story behind that is our friend Bob. He's got a cool Firebird that used to be his friends that passed away, and he's got Kyle's engine that was out of this. The plan was, what him and I had been talking about, making lots of phone calls before he passed away, was he wanted to build a supercharged fuel-injected engine for this GTO. He was shooting for that 850 to 1,000 horsepower engine because Kyle likes horsepower and Kyle liked to go fast. Hence his Big Green machine. Kawasaki sitting over there. Kyle was a pro rider in the 40 and above class. He'd been riding motorcycles as a kid. He was doing motocross. The kid is just an adrenaline throttle junkie, and that was one of the things I absolutely admired about him. Going back to his car. The 455 that was in here, the reason we sold that is because the intent was to refresh that engine anyway and sell it to put money towards a 400-based 433 supercharged engine that he wanted to build to put in here, get it ready for spring, so next year he could go out and have a whole lot of fun with a whole lot of power. However, Kyle's got some sons. One of them just turned 15. I do believe the other one's like 13. I'm really bad with ages. I'm really sorry about that. It's got a lot on my mind. But he wants his family to be able to enjoy this car. So we're going to get it back. We're going to get it back on the road. But that being said, what we're not going to do is we're not going to make it supercharged. It's still going to be a fuel-injected 433 cubic inch Pontiac, but it's going to be manageable horsepower. It's going to be fun horsepower, and it's going to be high-quality horsepower. We want to get this car back on the road, and we want it to be reliable. We want it to be quick, but at the end of the day, we want his family to be able to enjoy it because I know that would have been Kyle's wishes, to make sure that this car is not just sitting in the shop collecting dust. It's out cruising in style, sounds good, and when you mash that go pedal, it goes. So that's the plan. So where do we go from here? Well, we do have a bunch of parts, not everything. Before Kyle passed away, he had ordered pistons, custom cam, and a bunch of other stuff. However, I had to make a few phone calls and get a lot of that changed just for the fact that he was going with a blow motor. We're working with Butler Performance on a lot of the engine parts. We've already got the crank, we've already got the rods, we've already got the Holley EFI. We've already got the transmission parts to really beef up that Turbo 400, which I'm going to do at Cope Racing Transmissions. John's a really good friend of mine, said he'd help me out with that, so that's very much appreciated. So yeah, that's where we're going. We already got the block, it's already been decked and all that. It just needs final machining once I get the pistons in. I know I'm rambling, I ramble a lot, but this is just kind of explaining what we're doing moving forward. So once I get some parts in, you're gonna start seeing content on this because we do want to get it up and going, and there's still a whole lot of work to do. And there's gonna be, you know, a lot of people probably helping that have expressed interest because they were really good friends with Kyle. And the neat part is occasionally his sons are gonna be helping too. And that's gonna mean a lot to me and Kenny because Kyle really enjoyed his family and he really enjoyed teaching his son a lot of things. And he was an absolutely amazing father. And I know at the end of the day, those boys would have been out here doing this at the age they're at now. So me and Kenny are going to get them out in Kyle's Hack Shack and we're going to put them to work. They'll learn something. They'll get a little bit more appreciation for the hot rods. They love this car anyway. And at the end of the day, come springtime, what we want is we want Kyle's family to be able to enjoy the 1968 Big Green Machine GTO. With that, content to come as soon as we get parts. And yep, I'm looking forward to this one because it is one awesome GTO.